want to really get a handle on AI, not just toss around buzzwords, but like really get it, well, you're in the right place because today we're going deep, deep into artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
what it is, how it does its thing, and why you should, actually care about it.
Yeah, and we're not just talking robots here, although don't worry, we'll get to those. But AI is already quietly kind of running the show in a lot of ways, like in healthcare or even think about this, your taste in music.
Okay, so let's unpack that a little. You know how Spotify just seems to like nail it with music recommendations sometimes,
Yeah.
almost creepy, right?
Right, right.
So that's AI at work, basically like having like this personal DJ in your pocket, always learning your taste, getting better with every song. But how does it actually, work? How does it do that?
Well, it's really kind of cool when you think about it. It's like imagine AI as this like apprentice, right?
Yeah.
Just constantly watching, observing, learning. And in Spotify's case, it's not just tracking what you're listening to, but like millions of other users too. So it starts to see these patterns, like maybe fans of that new indie band you're into, they also love this obscure 80s group, and boom, you've got your next favorite song. That's AI using what we call collaborative filtering to like connect the dots and surprise you.
Wow. Okay. See, now that is kind of mind blowing. So it's not just my weird listening history, but this whole like web of musical taste.
Yeah.
No wonder Spotify knows me better than I know myself, honestly. But okay, let's rewind the tape a bit because AI feels so new, so cutting edge. Has it actually been around that long?
Oh, yeah. You might be surprised to hear that the seeds of AI were actually planted way back in the 1950s with a really simple question. Can machines actually think like humans? That came from Alan Turing, a real visionary.
Wait, hold on. The Turing test. I've heard of that. It's
Mm.
that whole like, how do you know if a machine is truly intelligent?
Exactly. And while, we haven't totally cracked that code just yet, Turing's question really kicked off decades of research and, a whole bunch of incredible breakthroughs. But it's not always been, smooth sailing. There were definitely times when people thought, this is it. AI is going to change everything overnight.
Yeah.
And then PFT, progress, kind of stalled. We call those periods AI winters.
AI winter. So like the hype kind of died down because the reality wasn't as cool as all the science fiction.
Yeah, exactly. But what's happening now, it feels different. It doesn't feel like a fad. This is like a full-on AI revolution, And I think it's because, well, think about the computing power we have now. Our phones have more juice than entire rooms full of computers did, like just a few decades ago. This means AI can finally like flex its muscles, tackle real-world problems, and with a speed and accuracy we could only dream of before.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But here's a question I've always had. When people talk about AI, are they always talking about the same thing? Because what you're describing, like with Spotify and all that, that doesn't seem like, some super intelligent robot from the movies about to take over the world.
You're right. You're right. It's a great point, and it gets to a key difference. Not all AI is, created equal. There are different types, and understanding them can really clear up a lot of the confusion. Generally, we can think of AI in two main categories: weak AI and, strong AI.
Okay, yeah, let's break that down.
Yeah.
Because weak AI, strong AI, what's the difference?
So think of weak AI as like a specialist, It's like a chef who makes the most incredible souffle you've ever tasted, but ask them to bake bread, they'll look at you like you're crazy. They're amazing at that one thing they're trained for, Siri, Alexa, things like that. Those are weak AIs. Amazing at their specific tasks like, answering your questions or playing your music, but they're not, out there pondering the mysteries of the universe or anything.
Right, right. So helpful tools, but not exactly, like sentient beings.
Gotcha. Okay, so what about strong AI then? That's where things get a little more, science fiction-y.
You could say that. Strong AI, that's the really ambitious stuff. That's about creating AI that can truly like rival human capabilities across the board. Think of a computer that doesn't just follow instructions, but actually like understands, learns, adapts, maybe even has emotions, just like us. We're not there yet. Not even close, really. But it's the holy grail for a lot of AI researchers.
Okay, so when we hear about AI, like diagnosing diseases or even composing music, is that strong AI?
Those are still mostly examples of weak AI, actually, but they're still incredible. It's about AI becoming so good at a specific task that it can sometimes even surpass what humans can do.
Well, yeah, that still sounds pretty groundbreaking to me. So how is this, weak AI already making a difference in our lives, besides, curating our playlists?
Get ready, because AI is already everywhere. And this is just the beginning. Let's take healthcare, for instance. Healthcare, yeah, that's a big one. It seems like I'm hearing about AI in medicine more and more these days.
Oh, it's definitely not just hype. AI is really, I mean, it's poised to completely revolutionize how we think about healthcare. We were talking about those AI systems that can analyze medical images, right?
Right.
I mean, we're talking AI that can spot these tiny little tumors in X-rays or catch the earliest signs of eye disease from like a retinal scan, sometimes even before human doctors can even see it.
Wow. Okay, that's seriously impressive.
Yeah.
And I mean, that could be life-saving, but it's not just about analyzing images, right?
Oh, definitely not. Imagine AI like sifting through mountains of patient data, right? Medical histories, genetic information, even lifestyle factors.
Yeah.
And it can use all of that to predict and diagnose diseases with, I mean, incredible accuracy.
Wow.
It's like having a crystal ball, but for human health.
Okay, so what do you call that?
That's what we call predictive analytics. And it basically means we could start catching things like heart disease or diabetes way earlier, in those earliest stages. And that means more effective treatments, better outcomes for patients. I mean, it's huge.
That is huge. It does make you wonder, though, what does that mean for doctors?
Yeah.
With AI getting so sophisticated, where does that leave them?
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be in medicine, that's for sure. But, AI isn't about replacing doctors, it's about empowering them, really. Think of it like a superpowered assistant, right? AI can handle that heavy lifting, the data analysis, so doctors are freed up to focus on what they do best, spending time with their patients, understanding their needs, and making those crucial decisions about their treatment.
Right. Okay. So it's more about AI and humans working together, each playing to their strengths.
Exactly.
Okay. So healthcare is definitely one area where AI is really making waves. What other fields are being kind of, transformed by this technology?
Oh, there are so many. Um, let's talk about finance for a second. Have you ever wondered how your bank just seems to know instantly when there's a suspicious transaction on your account?
Yeah, actually.
I mean, that's AI too, working behind the scenes to keep your money safe.
So you're telling me it's not some guy named Bob in a basement somewhere just like scrutinizing my every purchase?
Well, Bob's probably on vacation thanks to AI. Banks are using these incredibly, sophisticated algorithms to analyze like millions and millions of transactions in real time, looking for those telltale signs of fraud.
Wow.
It's like having a superpowered detective constantly monitoring your account.
Okay, yeah, that is actually pretty reassuring. I'm all for AI if it means, protecting me from identity theft and all that. But let's be honest, not all AI is about saving lives or stopping financial crime, right? Sometimes it feels like it's just trying to get me to buy more stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. The whole world of marketing and advertising, AI has completely upended it. Those eerily accurate product recommendations you see online. Yep, that's AI too. Learning your tastes, predicting what you're going to click on.
Okay, I gotta admit, sometimes it is impressive and sometimes it's just creepy. How do they even do that? It's like AI is like reading my mind.
Well, maybe not reading your mind, but definitely your online behavior. It all comes down to data, really. Every time you browse, click, like purchase something online, you're leaving a trail of digital breadcrumbs. And AI is really, really good at piecing all those breadcrumbs together to build this like surprisingly accurate profile of your preferences, your habits, even your future desires.
So it's constantly learning and then adapting its strategies based on what we're doing online.
Exactly. And this has huge implications for businesses, obviously. AI-powered marketing, it can be incredibly effective. It lets companies really personalize their message, target the right customers at the right time, and ultimately, you know, it's about boosting those sales. But it also brings up some important questions about how much data is being collected on us and how it's actually being used.
See, that's the part that makes me a little uneasy. It feels like this fine line between, helpful personalization and just plain creepy surveillance.
Yeah. You've hit on a really crucial point. I mean, as AI becomes more powerful and more embedded in our lives, we have to be mindful of the potential downsides.
So for all this talk about the cool stuff AI can do, are there actually drawbacks we need to be thinking about?
Yeah, it feels like we're kind of on the edge of something huge here, right? Like there's so much potential, but also a lot we don't know. What are some of the things we should really be thinking about as AI gets more and more like woven into our lives? Well, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I think one of the biggest concerns, and you hear this a lot, is, what's going to happen with jobs, right? I mean, if AI can automate tasks so much more efficiently than humans, what does that mean for, how we make a living?
Right. It's that classic fear of robots taking over. Maybe not in like a Hollywood, Terminator kind of way, but still.
Right, exactly. And it makes sense to be a little anxious about that for sure. But I think, it's not as simple as machines just replacing humans entirely. What's much more likely is a shift in what types of jobs are in demand.
Okay.
Some things will become automated, yeah, for sure. But that also frees up humans to focus on, those uniquely human skills.
Okay, so what are those? Like, what should people be doing to get ready for this changing job market?
I think lifelong learning is going to be key. And I don't just mean learning to code, although, hey, that's not a bad idea, right? But I'm talking about like really cultivating those uniquely human skills, like creativity, critical thinking,
Right.
problem solving,
Yeah.
emotional intelligence. These are the things that are going to set us apart in a world where AI can handle the routine stuff.
It's interesting. You don't really hear people talking about emotional intelligence for robots.
Exactly. And that's where the real opportunity lies, I think. We can use AI to like augment our abilities to make us more efficient and more effective, but we need to hold on to those qualities that make us human.
Right.
It's all about finding that balance, that synergy between human ingenuity and, artificial intelligence.
This has been a fascinating deep dive. We've covered so much, everything from the absolute basics of AI to like how it's going to potentially impact, well, everything. Healthcare, finance, even marketing, the future of work.
Right.
As we kind of wrap up here, what's the one thing you really hope our listener takes away from this?
More than anything, I want people to understand that AI isn't some distant thing. It's here. It's now. It's only going to become more, integrated into our world. The question isn't if it's going to reshape our lives, it's HOW.
Right.
And that's a question we all need to be a part of answering.
So it's about staying like informed and engaged and maybe even a little curious about the possibilities.
Absolutely. AI has this incredible potential. I mean, it really could help us solve some of our biggest challenges. But it also comes with, a whole new set of questions we have to consider. The future's not written yet. It's up to all of us to make sure AI is a force for good in the world.
I love that. Well said. To our listener out there, keep exploring, keep asking those questions, stay engaged.
Yeah.
The future of AI, it's a journey we're all on together.
Yeah.
And it's just beginning.
And who knows what kind of amazing breakthroughs are right around the corner. One thing's for sure, it's going to be a wild ride.